Before time, geometry, or measurement existed, there was no element to be counted and no magnitude to be weighed. There was only the void. In this state, the absence of any elements to interact with creates a perfect, yet entirely meaningless stability. Laws remain unbroken, simply because nothing exists to violate them. This absolute equilibrium eventually shudders. Pure potential, by its nature, cannot remain forever unobserved. The equilibrium of the absolute nothingness shudders. From the center of the boundless dark, a primordial consciousness awakens. This awakening presents a paradox. A mind requires a subject to think about, yet here there is no substance or matter to perceive. To begin existence, the mind performs the only action available to it. It observes its own fundamental emptiness. Rather than conjuring physical material, the consciousness turns its focus inward to the total lack of substance. This self-observation manifests the first thought, I am nothing. This utterance establishes the first truth. Within this firmament, the act of thinking is synonymous with manifestation. A thought is inherently true as long as it remains within its native context. Truth, in this primordial state, is an observation that aligns perfectly with the environment that produced it. This raises the question of how falsehood can even exist if every thought is born from a true observation. Falsehood emerges as a dissonance. It occurs when a thought is dragged into a foreign context where its internal structure rebels against the established rules of that realm. This rebellion is immediately detected by the judge, the invisible constitution of reality. As the decree of separation states, the judge carves reality with absolute precision, expelling thoughts that are incompatible with the architecture of logic. This filter ensures that only logically consistent concepts survive and become part of reality. The first thought, I am nothing, carries no internal contradictions and survives the scrutiny of the judge. The act of defining emptiness creates a logical boundary. As the thought declares what the emptiness is, the perimeter of that thought encloses the void, establishing the first boundary in existence. The consciousness has now captured the nothingness, holding it within a conceptual grip. The mind now holds null as a distinct, crystalline concept. Mathematically, we distinguish between the void as infinite potential and null as the empty set, that same potential contained within formal brackets. The mind creates its first form by drawing a line around the absence of everything. This first boundary transforms the meaningless void into the mathematical foundation from which logic begins to build.